Okay, so I just want to thank folks for coming on today on this day of me testifying what I feel as though what happened was a modern day house invasion within my home, taking my phone and apprehending me in my own hallway without being arrested for no reason. And so I wanted to say thank you for everyone for coming out. And I want to introduce you to my good friend, Mary Kay Harris, the new city councilwoman. And she has to leave pretty soon, but I wanted her to say a few words right quick.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
And to all that don't know me, Mary Kay Harris, I have been organizing around police brutality and accountability of police misbehavior for many, many years. And going on now to try to look at a different direction of how we look at community safety. First of all, I want to say I want to appreciate John for his courageousness. But first of all, we can no longer stand back and see things happen to our community and people being assaulted in a way and not take notice of it. We just heard just a little bit that the case of Ferguson is going to be coming down very, very soon. We don't want that attitude to be here in Providence. We worked very, very hard over the years to look for accountability. John himself, he's going to tell you his story, but John have been trained in how to video and document. And these are some of the things that we have done over the years to initiate change around community safety and police brutality. So one of the things that I want to say, John, is you have set an example for the entire community to continue to do what's right towards people. If you see something wrong, take an initiative, stand up, and do just what you have to do. If we have to video situations, then that's what we do. Community needs this type of attitude. We need to be able to build community safety within our community. So I want to say I appreciate you, and for the many, many years of me working with John and many others around accountability, we would like to see things change. I know many people are going to talk about some of those initiatives for that change, and I want to applaud you, John, for all you're doing and what you're doing today, because I know it's not easy.
We actually had another speaker who was going to talk about the Community Safety Act, who's not here yet. I don't know if anybody from there would like to fill in. Last minute. Oh, actually, no, wait, you were going next.
Oh,
that's right.
oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
We planned this a little quickly.
So, on September 10th of 2014, the incident took place in front of my house. I was documenting officers that I felt was doing the wrong thing. And so when I started filming them in my own yard, within my own fence, I was videotaping these officers. And the officer asked me for my ID. And I said, well, I refuse to give you my ID. For what? He said, I just want to know who's taping me and where this film's going to go. So I said, well, it's not going to go nowhere. I just videotaping the incident. So at that point, I stepped back a few places. He told Officer 2, get that phone. Officer 2 jumped over my fence, ran me in my house, and I'm wrestling with him, trying to get I got my phone in my hand. You're not getting my phone. Give me. And we wrestled, and he wound up apprehending my phone, deleted my film, and tossed my phone in the bushes, and told me that's what you get. So I don't think that is right. I think I'm a citizen or a tax citizen payer. I believe in justice, but that was injustice that happened to me. And when there's injustice, I'm going to step up because I'm not afraid. And that's what I'm here for today. I'm going right in there, whatever floor that courtroom is in, and I'm going to tell my story just how it went down. And I just want to say that thank you guys for coming out, because if it happens to me, it can happen to you, it can happen to you, it can happen to you. And we're trying to make sure it doesn't not happen to us. And we're human beings also, you know. So what I want to say is, this, modern day house invasion has to stop. and I'm trying to make a difference today to make sure that that happened to me doesn't have to happen to any of y'all. And thank you. That's all I have to say at this point.
Can you say, do you have any, I don't know how to say that, what kind of confidence do you have in the internal affairs process that you're about to go into?
Well, I seen it how they did my friend Cornell Young, how that went down. I seen it how my friend Skell Williams got murdered downtown for he had a screwdriver, and when he put the screwdriver up with his hands, they shot him dead in the down in the parking lot downtown at Way Boston Street. So I don't have too much faith in the internal affairs here, but I just want to make sure I make a difference and I'm on record that they're going to be on record also, that there's someone's looking after them, someone's watching. And as far as the internal affairs and stuff here, I don't have too much faith, but you know, see what happens.
What were the officers doing when you were filming them?
Excuse me?
What were the officers doing when you were filming them?
They was apprehending 2 women that was on the corner of Princeton and Elmwood. And they were speaking rudely to these women that made me say, yo, and they was like all in their handbags, and I would say, why are you doing that here? So that's when the whole thing started. He asked me who I was, and then I said, well, what's your name? So I happened to have an Obama hat on, President Obama. So the white officer said, my name is Obama. And other officers say, yeah, my name is John Doe. And they all, geek. They all started laughing. So I felt it was a laughing matter for them, but it wasn't a laughing matter to me. And so if they're going to do that to these people, whether they think they're above the law, somebody needs to check. And I'm going to try to checkmate them and let them know that you're officers, but you also have boundaries. You also have dignity to serve and protect people. And that's what I wanted to draw a point to make that perfectly clear.
Are you concerned that some people might say, hey, you've got the police review board ordinance that's still pending before the council. This was an issue at time to time in the campaign. Gosh, it's awful convenient that you're a staff member. Dare's been one of the big supporters of that ordinance. Mm-hmm. Are you concerned that people might say, hey, wait a second, this is awful convenient for these guys?
Well, I think it's not really awful convenience. I think even though we started this review board, and I think somebody needs to review these cops, because if they're not accountable to the people, who are they going to be accountable to? So somebody needs to be the watchdog. Somebody needs to be the person or people that take notice and not to be afraid. The most important thing is not to be afraid, and I'm not afraid because I'm going right up here in the belly of the beast, and I'm gonna tell my story, and I'm not afraid.
We have time for a quick few comments that I think Ray Watson's going to do about the Community Safety Act that you mentioned, and then probably.
Sheesh. All right. Well, I'm not the best person to speak to all the details of the act. There are other individuals here from organizations that have been directly involved in it. I will say this: we just had a meeting last week with the colonel from the state troopers, various law enforcement officials from throughout the state, concerned about what the reaction to the Ferguson verdict might be and how they should respond to it. And our conversation with them was, your officers should be professional and respectful. Whether they agree with how we're demonstrating, whether they agree with videotaping them, whether they agree with what we're doing or not. If we're not doing anything illegal, if we're within our boundaries, then you have no right to step beyond your boundaries to address us in whatever manner you think is appropriate. We're all about professionalism, we're all about respect, and that's what the Providence Community Safety Act's all about. It's not about hindering police officers, it's not about making it harder for them to do their job, because we want law enforcement officials who do their job and do it correctly. If there's a shooting, we want the individual involved in that to be held accountable. If there's drug dealing going on, we want that to be held accountable. What we don't want is officers coming into our community treating everyone like they're a shooter, treating everyone like they're a drug dealer, and then being disrespectful when they find out that they were incorrect about their assumption about you. I've had my own experience with it. This is a very well-respected man here in the city, so for anyone to say, oh, well, John Prince is doing this to push an agenda, frankly, it's insulting. It's insulting to everyone who day in and day out, whether they get paid or not, does what they need to do to make the city a better place for everyone. Not just people with money, not just people who own businesses, not just people with power, but everyone, including the everyday residents who have grown up in this city and lived here their entire life. So I would really prefer to defer to Fred or someone from DARE for specifics about the Providence Community Safety Act, as they can answer what the specific requests or demands in it are. But I can say on behalf of Mount Hope and on behalf of myself, I'm 100% behind it, and I think that any law enforcement official who respects the badge that they have on their chest, who acknowledges the fact that there is a problem with professionalism and respect on the part of a lot of Providence police officers, and who wants to work with the community to make it a better community for all of us, should be in support of it as well. Thank you very much.
One last comment. If anybody wanted to do one last comment. No, then I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that concludes our press conference this afternoon. Now I got to get ready to go upstairs and face my accusers here. So, but thank you for coming out. Thank you guys, and guys, it's been lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.